Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Dr. Alex. I'm the founder of Vida Hydration Therapy, a luxury upscale mobile IV hydration service and boutique telemedicine practice. Today, I wanted to get in touch with my roots a little bit, talk about Hispanic Heritage Month, but I want to talk about really an epidemic that's going on within the Hispanic community. Because today, earlier, I was at the hospital. Now, I'm also a nursing professor, so I'm at the hospital a couple of days out of the week teaching students. And today, when I was there, when I walked into the hospital, there's a big, electronic board that has different events and whatnot, announcements on it. And one of the announcements was for a seminar for like this talk that they were going to have for Hispanic Heritage Month. And I had a laugh when I read it because, I mean, don't quote me on the exact title because I can't really remember the exact words of it. But the gist of it was that this seminar was going to talk about the role of diet and culture in the Hispanic community when it comes to chronic illnesses. That's what basically they were going to talk about during this seminar. And I just had to like laugh when I read that because so much came up for me when I read that because I was like, man, I wonder what they're going to talk about because I know what I would talk about during that seminar. And so I figured that would be a good live stream for today because this is a topic that I am like this is me. Like this is my lived experience. And so I'm Hispanic, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Latina, and the way I grew up, the culture that I grew up in, the environment that I grew up in was being surrounded by illness. Everybody in my family had type 2 diabetes. Everybody. Everybody was overweight, obese. Everybody was suffering some type of complication from a lifestyle based chronic disease. You know what I'm saying? Just lots of sickness and illness in my family growing up, what I saw. And that was the norm. That's what I was used to. That's what I thought was normal. And, when you look at statistics, and even when I was in school and reading about different chronic diseases, Hispanics were right up there when it comes to type 2 diabetes, Hispanic and Black, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, all of that. And I had always been led to believe, and I think that many people are this way also, that just because you're Hispanic or just because you're Black means that you're going to develop type 2 diabetes or some form like prediabetes or something or some type of blood sugar issue. I really think that's what so many people believe. And I know for myself, I was just kind of led to believe that that's what was going to happen to me. Even though I was in healthcare for many years, I was in healthcare, I still was not taking my own health seriously. You know what I mean? I was pre diabetic. I was 75 pounds overweight. I had high blood pressure. Like I was really, really sick. And I was following in the footsteps of every single person that came before me. And I've got relatives that are missing fingers, toes, feet. My grandfather, knee below the knee amputations, insulin injections. Like that's what I grew up in. That's what I saw. And so many Hispanics think that that's just how it is. Like that's just what's going to happen to you because you're Spanish and that's what it is. When we go a level deeper, we examine really what's the cause. So for me, I practice functional medicine. So I'm always like, let's get to the root cause. What's really the problem here? When we go a little bit deeper, we see that it is kind of the perpetuation of lifestyle, habits, mindset, food, definitely. And I'm going to talk about food in a minute. What we think health is, what we think health looks like, what we're taught about health, what we're not taught about health, being Hispanic. So there's so many other things that are a part of that that lead us into having these high numbers of people with type 2 diabetes, with these chronic illnesses. And so that also makes me think of all of the clients that I currently have, clients that I've already served, of calls that I've had with potential clients, people that I meet, that I talk to, people that message me. The one common theme that comes up is food and culture. And everybody's so proud of their culture, and it's wonderful. Everybody's so proud of their culture. And food always comes up, always comes up. And especially with Black clients that I have. I have clients of all races, all ethnicities, but the majority are minorities of the clients that I serve. And one in particular is coming to mind where she always would talk about her food. And, food is such a big part of our family, and it's such an important part of our culture. And I don't know if you know this culture, but this is what we're known for. And it's just so hard when it comes to food because she was having health complications related to her weight, which was directly related to what she was eating and her lifestyle. And the things that we spoke about were, or the things that she was telling me about, was about this food. And every culture will tell you about their food. Every culture has food. That just because you're a certain type of something doesn't make you special, because every other race, every other culture has food that they talk about, that they love, that brings them together, because food is comfort, food is love, food is family. For every culture has their own version of that. So you ain't special. You ain't special. It's within every culture. Hispanics will say up and down about all of that. But what's happening is that food, that culture that we're passing down with that, is killing us. It's making us sick. It's killing us. It's causing us to be in the hospital. It's causing us to lose fingers, toes, legs. It's causing us to be on dialysis. It's causing us to die and leave our kids and our loved ones behind. It's causing us to die at early ages. So I get really passionate about this topic because I've seen it. I see it every single day when I'm at the hospital. I see it, and it's killing people. And it's just this culture that we continue to perpetuate. We continue to engage in. It's the excuses, and it's the lifestyle, it's the mindset that we continue to have that is not doing us any favors, is not doing us any good. And when it comes to myself, I mentioned earlier, I was so sick at such a young age. I went into heart failure after I had my son. My youngest son is 7. I had him when I was 35, I had him. And I was in heart failure. I was the sickest I'd ever been in my life. And it wasn't it was the wake up call that I needed. Having Ches was the wake up call that I needed to save my life. Oh, excuse me. Because there's no other aspect of my culture that was encouraging me or supportive of me in being healthy. There wasn't. Because if there was, I wouldn't have gotten to where I was at, to the point of where I was at. Because the food, the lifestyle, the mindset, the environments that we are in, the number of Hispanics who are sick, on medication, in the hospital with chronic diseases is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I see it every single day I'm at the hospital. Every single day. And I was not far from being type 2 diabetic. I caught myself early when I was pre-diabetic, but I still had all those other health issues. I still was very sick in many other ways. And that's why I just had to laugh because when I read that announcement, I said, "What? I wonder what in the world, what fluffy nonsense that they're going to talk about during this seminar?" Because I know for sure they're not going to get to what's really going on when it comes to that. I know they're not going to because you can't be in the hospital. You can't work for another organization to really say what needs to be said. This is why I started my own practice because I could not continue to sit there day after day after day taking care of people who were only getting sicker, who were never getting any better. And I was not making any type of difference in their life. And I can never really say the shit that really needed to be said to them. I couldn't say it because if I did, I would get fired or I would get called into so and so's office. I would get a love note from so and so. It just would never work. It would never work. And I finally got tired of it and decided that I wanted to do something different, that I really wanted to make an impact in people's lives, in their health. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that in the hospital working for somebody else. This is such like here for me, this topic. And we see people like we're going to funerals. We're going to funerals and we're eating the fucking food that caused the person in the coffin to be there in the first place, right? Thea, whoever, diabetes. But let's go have a bunch of cake and let's go have this and let's go have that and let's go have the cookie trays and blah, blah, blah. So we're eating the food that killed the person whose funeral that we're at. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? There's so much that can be improved on when we're talking about our culture and our families and taking responsibility for ourselves and doing things different. Just because past generations did something a certain type of way does not mean that you got to continue to do that, engage in that, think like that, be like that. It absolutely doesn't. And that's why I'm here teaching people that they can break the cycle. They can defy the odds. You can live to have the best health possible, whatever that looks like for you. You can have that. You don't have to follow in the footsteps of every single person before you. Because I was just talking to somebody the other day on the phone, and I told her that one of the most pivotal moments for me was when and it wasn't even something that happened once. I would see it over and over again, but it just became that moment, that thing for me was, working in the ICU and having families come visit in the ICU, and I would see the entire family from the little ones all the way to, the grandparents or whoever, the older ones that were in the room, and I could see how it started, how it's going, and how it's ending right there in front of me. And I was like, why am I the only one seeing this, who's seeing patterns, who's seeing what this is, and knows that there's something wrong with it, who's not okay with it? But I would see that over and over and over again. And the chick I was talking to was just like, damn. And I'm like, yes, because that's what it is. You see it when you're around you. You just have to open your eyes to it. It's around you. You will see it. I'm telling you, once you open your eyes to it, you will see it and it will shock you when you start to see this. And some people can handle it. Some people will be like, "Yes, I see it. I understand." And they know. And there's other people that are going to remain in denial about it. They're going to remain in denial about it. They're going to they're going to see it, but they're going to choose not to do anything about it. They're going to choose to just ignore it. They're going to choose to continue to make excuses about it. And they will continue on that road and they will continue to suffer. Will continue to get sick and they will die at an early age, have complications, have a horrible quality of life. It's not going to be good. It's not going to end good. But you can choose to wake up, open your eyes, do something, take some action, take some responsibility, and do something about your situation. Break the cycle, defy the odds, choose your own path, decide how you're going to live. Stop being a victim, stop not giving yourself options. You're going to get to a point where you don't have options anymore. Attack it early, be proactive. And maybe you've just got diagnosed with something. Now's the best time to take action before it gets too late and you run out of options. Because there's people watching this live stream that maybe they just got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and maybe they're just on a pill right now. That's how it starts. You start off with just a pill. Then you get put on more, like a higher dose of that pill. Then they add on another pill. Then they're like, "Oh, now we got to give you insulin." Then you're on insulin. Then you're on more and more and more different types of insulin, long acting, short acting, different doses, sliding scale. That's a lot of shit to think about. Real talk. And that's just one illness. That's just one type 2 diabetes. That's just one thing that you're diagnosed with. That shit will turn into hypertension. That shit will turn into chronic kidney disease. That shit will turn into a stroke. That will turn into all types of other things because they are all connected. Once you get one, you about to have some other ones unless you do something. And especially for my ladies listening, once you get up to over 35, you're perimenopausal, you're going into menopause, these hormone shifts will fucking rock your world. If you're not proactive and creating a good environment, healthy environment in your body, listen, the better shape you can get into as you go into this transition, the better off you'll be. Am I saying that you will be symptom free? No. But am I saying that the quality of your life might be a little bit better? Yes. Am I saying that these symptoms won't hit you as hard? Yes. Am I saying you might have not suffer other complications from these hormonal changes like insulin resistance, like metabolic syndrome, like high blood sugar? I am saying that the better shape you get into, the better shot you'll have at a better quality of life, an easier transition, a healthy environment, so that if you do decide to go on hormone replacement therapy, that shit's going to work really good for you because you've got an optimal environment set up for it. If you choose to go that route. If you choose not to go that route, or if you can't go that route for whatever reason, then what other things, how else can we optimize your hormones? How else can we optimize your metabolism? How else can we optimize the environment inside of your body so that you are able to move, you are able to feel great, you are able to sleep good, think clearly, do what you want to do, go work out, like be the woman that you want to be, live the life that you want to live. Because I 100% believe with every fiber of my being that the best years of your health can be ahead of you. They're not behind you. They're not when you were 18 or 20. Because I know if I look at myself, there is no way that I look fondly or anything back at my younger years of when it comes to my health. No. I know I am living right now the best years of my health. And I know those are ahead for you. Right now, the best years of your health are ahead of you. It can totally be that way. It takes some action, it takes some things you gotta do, but it can happen for you. It absolutely can happen for you. And just because everybody else in your family looks a certain type of way and has certain types of health conditions and is living a certain type of way and thinking a certain type of way does not mean that that's what has to happen to you, that you have to follow down that path. You absolutely don't. You are one of one. You are you. You are the only. So you have every opportunity to change things for yourself. And if you are Hispanic or you are Black or you are another minority, really think about what I've said today in this video. Open your eyes to what's around you, what's tolerated, what's considered normal in your families when it comes to health, when it comes to lifestyle, when it comes to mindset. Because it's holistic, baby, right? It's all the things. So we have to take all of those into consideration. So really open your eyes to that and see what's around you and what's your role in that. What role have you taken in that? If you want to, you can leave it in the comments below. Let me know what's coming up for you when I'm asking you this stuff. I really would be, I really, really am interested to know what is coming up for people when I talk about this because this is, like I said, so near, dear, my life lived experience. This is it. This is it. And that's why I know there's nobody else that can speak to this the way that I do because this was me. This is my life. I'm not out of it. This is my life still. And like I said, I'm living my best life right now at 42, honey. At perimenopausal and 42, honey. I am living my best life, my best health right now. And I know it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better for me. And I know that can happen for you too. So, thanks for tuning into my live stream today. Got a little emotional, but hey, that's me. That is me. And if you have any questions, comments, leave them below or send me a message. Again, I'd love to know what you thought about today's episode. And I'm going to leave it at that today. I'm going to leave it at that. So, I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you in the next video.